Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. So today we're doing a Christmas video. Never done anything. Well, I mean, I guess I did a Thanksgiving video, but this one's going to be a little bit different. So I watched 37 Christmas movies, and I don't really like Christmas movies that much, but I thought I would try some out, see if there's any good ones, and so I want to talk about the ones that I watched. So, I hope you enjoy the video. Okay, so let's get started. So, first off, I'm going to talk about Home Alone 1 and 2. It's a two-movie collection on Blu-ray. So, the Home Alone movies are considered classics. They're pretty well known. I think all of you should know what Home Alone is, but if you don't, so Home Alone is when Kevin McAllister's family leaves for Christmas vacation, they forget one thing, Kevin. So the 8-year-old starts decorating for the holidays, but when two bumbling burglars try to break in, Kevin rigs a hilarious array of booby traps for them in this comical holiday hit. And then in Home Alone 2, Lost in New York, this year, Kevin is spending the holidays in New York City. Unfortunately, his parents are spending them in Florida. Accidentally separated from his parents once again, Kevin manages to find food, lodging, and fun using his dad's credit card. But when the notorious wet bandits escape prison and head for New York too, Kevin must use his wits to welcome them in his own unforgettable way. So, both of these movies are actually pretty good. So, both Home Alone 1 and 2 were directed by Chris Columbus. And, I don't know, they're kind of corny, but they're also kind of fun. The first Home Alone actually has some deleted scenes. There's some behind-the-scenes stuff. And there's actually a really good commentary track on it with Chris Columbus and Macaulay Culkin. And, it's a pretty interesting commentary track. Home Alone 2 only had trailers for the first 3 Home Alone movies. So there was, no bonus features for the second one, really. But I would still recommend this. It's a pretty good set here. You get Home Alone 1 and 2 on Blu-ray. And, so yeah, it's this one I actually do recommend. So now we're going to talk about Home Alone 3. So this one was not directed by Chris Columbus, and it doesn't have Macaulay Culkin in it either. It's a completely different kid. So this one's really good too, though. I feel like the first 3 Home Alones are all pretty good, but this one is when it says the U.S. Air Force has a new secret weapon, and he's only 8 years old. From comedy legend John Hughes comes the hilarious, action-packed hit that's lots of fun for the entire family. So basically with this one, a band of international crooks has hidden a military computer chip inside a toy car, but an airport mix-up lands it in the hands of whiz kid Alex Pruitt, who's home alone with the chicken pox in a quiet Chicago suburb. When the criminals zero in on Alex's house with her high-tech gadgetry, madness and mayhem kick into high gear as the pint-sized hero defends himself against the bumbling bad guys armed with an outrageous array of ambushes and booby traps. So, John Hughes wrote the first 2 movies, and he also wrote this one. This is also the last Home Alone movie John Hughes was involved in, and it's the last Home Alone movie that's actually good. So the first one came out in 1990, the second one came out in 91, and the third one came out in 97. So there's a huge gap. That's why it's a different kid. They just didn't do it quick enough. But this one's actually pretty good also. So there's with the bonus features on this one, there's some cast and crew bio stuff, And then there's just trailers for Home Alone 1, 2, and 3 again. So there's not a whole lot on here. This one actually got the best critical reviews. It was reviewed better than the first two Home Alone movies. And it's pretty decent. I wish they released it on Blu-ray, but it's stranded on DVD for now. But hopefully we'll get a Blu-ray release one day. So next is Home Alone Taking Back the House. This movie is fucking awful. Like, this movie sucks. So it's tough being 9. Tougher still is spending Christmas with Dad at his new girlfriend Natalie's mansion, even though it's loaded with all the techno gadgets any kid could hope for. But this Christmas, Kevin is really in hot water again, and so are Marv and his sidekick, who are up to no good. With funnier and more high-tech crime-stopping wizardry at his disposal than ever, Kevin just might finally put these crooks on ice forever and keep his parents together while he's at it, in this uplifting, hilarious comedy the whole family is sure to love. I don't think the whole family's going to love this one. This is like one of the worst movies I've ever seen in my life, actually. So, this is supposed to be Kevin McAllister. So this is Macaulay Culkin's character, and it's supposed to be a sequel to Home Alone 2, where Marv shows back up. But all the actors are played by different all the characters are played by different actors in this one, and none of the actors are really that good. Like, they're all pretty. It was a made-for-television movie, and the kid that played Kevin in this is not very good. Neither is the guy that played Marv. And instead of Harry, Marv's wife is his sidekick. And I don't know. It seems like the actors are like, they're forcing their performances a little bit. And there's no bonus features at all on this one. So yeah, I can't recommend this one at all, really. Like, Home Alone 4 is really awful. So the next we have Home Alone, The Holiday Heist. So, in this hilarious holiday tale for all ages, 10-year-old Finn Baxter thinks his family's new house in Maine is haunted, but the truth might be even scarier. A trio of thieves is after a priceless painting hidden in a secret room by the previous owner. So when Finn and his sister find themselves home alone, Finn rigs up an elaborate array of techno gadgets and booby traps to protect his pad from the bumbling criminals trying to break in. It's a delightful comedy caper that will still your heart again and again. So this one was also a made-for-television movie. And actually, I want to correct myself. Home Alone 4 does have trailers for the first 3 movies as its bonus features. There's no trailer for the 4th one, but there is trailers for the first 3 on the 4th movie's disc. Now, Holiday Heist has 0 bonus features, though. There's not even trailers for the first 3 movies. This one came out in 2012, 10 years after the 4th one. And, like, I don't know, this one's not good, but it's at least better than the 4th one. Malcolm McDowell, of all people, is in this. And that really surprised me because Malcolm McDowell's a really good actor. So to see him in this was pretty strange, to say the least. It's not completely awful, but it's definitely not as good as the first 3. Like, I would just stick with Home Alone 1, 2, and 3. And, like, honestly, you can skip the 4th one and 5th one unless you just really feel like you need to torture yourself. Like, because these are all... These 2 right here are pretty much garbage. So, we're finally done with the Home Alone movies. And now we can talk about one of the best Christmas movies of all time, Jingle All The Way. So, in this hilarious holiday comedy, Arnold Schwarzenegger stars as a frantic father trying to buy a Turbo Man action figure for his son on Christmas Eve, unaware that it's the season's hottest selling toy. So begins a take no prisoners battle involving a stressed out mailman, a sleazy mall Santa, and dozens of other desperate dads. So I really love this one. This one's really good. There's also like there's some bonus features on here too. So it includes the theatrical cut, which is the better version, or the director's cut. The director's cut cuts some things out of it. It doesn't really it adds some of the deleted scenes back in, but there's one section of the movie that has changed. So at one point, there's like a big montage, and it's playing like a rock version of Jingle All the Way. But in the director's cut, it plays a slower song instead, and I don't know. I prefer the theatrical version. There's also a post-credit scene. In the director's cut, the post-credit scene is before the credits, but in the theatrical version, it was a post-credit scene. I would just go with the theatrical version, but either way, this is a really good movie. There's also The Making of a Hero. It's a bonus feature about sort of like how they made the Turbo Man suit. There's one called Super Kids, which is just a bunch of kids talking about what if they were a superhero, what they would be. It's really odd because it has really nothing to do with Jingle All the Way, to be honest. Then there's one called Turbo Man Behind the Mask, which is like a mockumentary sort of thing, acting like Turbo Man's life went like really badly after making the movie. I don't know. This is a really good movie. I definitely recommend this Blu-ray. Now the next movie that I'm going to talk about is even worse than Home Alone 4 and 5. To even cope with the next movie, I feel like I'm going to have to drink some eggnog moonshine. Because like this movie is awful. So we're going to try this right here and right now. This doesn't taste good at all. Yeah, no. I don't know. I guess I'm kind of warming up to it a little bit, but I don't know. This is weird. I feel like this is the only way that I'm going to cope with talking about this next movie. So next, we have a movie that probably should not exist. Jingle All the Way 2. So it stars Larry the Cable Guy, who's pretty much like if life was like Pokemon, Larry the Cable Guy would be like the redneck evolution form of Guy Fieri, to be honest. But this movie fucking sucks. I hope I never watch it again. So basically, two desperate dads compete in a no-holds-barred battle to be the best father and make this the best Christmas ever. Fun-loving, laid-back dad Larry is having a bear of a time finding the perfect Christmas gift for his 8-year-old daughter Noelle. The season's hottest toy, the Harrison bear, is all sold out, and Noelle's new stepfather wants to keep it that way so he can be the one to make her holiday wish come true. When Larry learns all Noelle wants for Christmas is the bear, he'll stop at nothing to make his little girl happy and get her the toy of her dreams. Co-starring WWE superstar Santino Marella, Jingle All the Way 2 is heartwarming and hilarious for the whole family. I have to disagree. Jingle All the Way 2 is garbage. This is just not a good movie. There was nothing it was definitely feels like basically they were like, oh, we own the rights to Jingle All the Way, and we need to put out a Christmas movie, so let's do a sequel. Like this is awful. It's just like a cash grab. There's some bonus features on here too. There's deleted scenes. There's some like some cast and crew like talking about like different things on the set, sort of things. There's an interview with Harrison the Bear. There's a commercial of Harrison Bear. There's a Black Friday PSA. The bonus features were garbage too. Like, I can't recommend this one at all. I wish this had never been made, actually. Like, because the original Jingle All the Way is like a classic. Jingle All the Way 2 is just a garbage kind of cash-in sort of movie that was basically made by the WWE and Fox. I can't recommend it. So next, we're going to talk about another really good Christmas movie called A Christmas Story. So, the Christmas spirit isn't served up with I can't talk. The Christmas spirit isn't served up with more heartfelt warmth or observant hilarity than in this beloved adaptation of Gene Shepard's holiday story. In 1940s Indiana, 9-year-old Ralphie dreams of his ideal Christmas gift, a genuine Red Ryder 200-shot carbine action air rifle. But when gruff dad and doting mom regularly respond with, "You'll shoot your eye out," Ralphie mounts in a full-scale hint-dropping Santa-begging campaign. He also endures a slew of calamities from snowsuit paralysis to the yellow-eyed Scotty Farkas. Okay, so there's already a typo because his name is Scut Farkas, as far as I remember. To the dreaded tongue on a frozen flagpole gambit. We triple dog dare you to unwrap a more welcome Yuletide classic. So this is this honestly, I would say this is probably my favorite Christmas movie of all time. Again, this is another one that everybody probably knows about. But yeah, there's a commentary track on here with Peter Billingsley, who is the actor that played Ralphie, and the director Bob Clark, and it's a really good commentary track. So if you're into commentary tracks, that's definitely one to check out. There's also a 20th anniversary documentary called Another Christmas Story, and it's actually narrated by Peter Billingsley. And it was a good documentary. There's also like 2 little short features. There's some script pages and a theatrical trailer. Like, this is a really good release. Like, I definitely recommend this one. One of my favorite Christmas movies. It probably is my favorite Christmas movie. So yeah. Next, though, we have A Christmas Story 2. This one sucks. Basically, in this one, it's a completely different cast because the original came out in '83. This one came out in 2012. And it's actually directed by Brian Levant. Brian Levant also directed Jingle All the Way, which is a really good movie. And then he also directed Christmas Story 2, which isn't a very good movie. It's not like Home Alone 4 bad or Jingle All the Way 2 bad, but it's pretty close. Basically, in this one, Ralphie wants a car. And, yeah, that's about all I'm going to say, really. This isn't a very good one. The bonus features aren't that great either. I don't know. It was just very mediocre, I guess. It wasn't bad. I mean, it's bad, but it's not awful, and it's also not good. So it's just like really, it's just a mediocre movie. I can't really recommend it. I mean, basically, just watch it if you just feel like if you're like a really huge fan of the original movie, then you might want to check it out. But it's just not very good. Okay, so next... Next we're going to be talking about Bad Santa. So, Bad Santa is actually really good. So, double deck the halls with both the unrated and the director's cut version of Bad Santa. Billy Bob Thornton, Lauren Graham, Bernie Mac, and John Ritter kick it up a notch as they make spirits brighter and shinier in HD. You'd better watch out. Santa Claus Willie T. Stokes is coming to town, and he doesn't give a flying reindeer whether you've been naughty or nice. Willie's favorite holiday tradition is to fill his sacks with loot lifted from the shopping malls across the country. But this year, a wisecracking store detective, a sexy bartender, and a kid who's convinced Willie's the real deal derails his plans. So you get the unrated version and the director's cut version, but you don't get the theatrical version for some reason. So I didn't get to see the theatrical version. I've only seen the unrated version and the director's cut. There's also some bonus features. There's a commentary track on the director's cut version only. There's an interview with the director, Terry Zwigoff, and editor Robert Hoffman by Roger Ebert. Behind the scenes special. There's a Batter Santa gag reel, outtakes, deleted and alternate scenes, Santa trainer scene, Willie leaves department store, and screaming baby. I really like this one. The director's cut version leaves a lot of stuff out, but there's also some really good stuff in the director's cut version, and there's also some stuff in the unrated version that's really good that's not in the director's cut. So, like, honestly, the best version would be if they could combine stuff from both. I would just recommend watching both of them and then decide for yourself which version you like best. They both have good things and they both have things that aren't so great. So it's basically like a matter of opinion if you want to watch the rated or if you want to watch the director's cut or the unrated version. The director's cut version is 88 minutes, while the unrated version is 98 minutes. So there's 10 minutes of footage that's not in. It's like 10 minutes shorter. Some of the footage in the director's cut is not in the unrated version though, and there's some stuff from the unrated version that's not in the director's cut. So either way, you're gonna miss out on stuff. And I don't know. I wish they could have combined some of the footage to make like an even better version. Each version feels kind of lacking, but like overall, it's a pretty good movie. So next, we have Bad Santa 2. This one sucks. It's not very good. So fueled by cheap whiskey and greed, Willie Soak. Oh, so there's a typo. Willie Soak teams up once again with his angry sidekick Marcus to knock off a Chicago charity run by curvaceous Diane. But the arrival of Willie's horror story of a mother, Sonny, and the kid, Thurman Merman, may upset their plan. You better watch out. Bad Santa 2 is coming to town. So you get the theatrical version and the unrated version. And then you get Thurman Then and Now, Just Your Average Red Band Featurette, Jingle Balls, That's My Willie, Gag Reel, alternate opening and ending, and deleted scenes. I can't really recommend this one though. It's just not good. The first movie is like really raunchy, but it has a lot of heart. The second movie just doesn't have the heart that the original had, which means it's just nowhere near as good. I would probably just pass on this one. Well, I don't know, like, maybe go ahead and watch the second one, but just keep in mind that it's not as good as the first one. Bad Santa 2 is definitely better than, it's better than Home Alone 4 and 5, it's better than Jingle All The Way 2, and it's better than Christmas Story 2, but it's not as good as all the other ones that I talked about. It's just, it's kind of mediocre. It's not awful, but it's not good either. So yeah, that's basically it. I still have a lot of movies to talk about, so I'm probably going to go ahead and stop the video here And we're going to continue with a part 2 of this video. So it's going to be like a 2-part Christmas video. So yeah, stay tuned for that. And in the meantime, and there's links in the description below. I think that moonshine kind of messed me up. I'm not drunk or anything, but I don't know. I'm not thinking right. But anyways, yeah. So in the description below, there should be links to my Patreon, my Facebook page, Twitter page, and my Instagram page. So go follow all that stuff. I haven't really done anything with my Patreon yet, but go ahead and check it out. If I get enough, support there, and if I find the right people to start making content with me, I'm gonna make the content that is promised on that page. So go ahead and donate. You will not be charged any money at all until I post stuff for that Patreon. So it's probably gonna be a while, but you can go ahead and donate anyways, just to kind of start things up, and I can try to gauge interest a little bit. But yeah, so for part 2, we're gonna be talking about horror Christmas movies. Part 1, I just talked about kind of like regular Christmas movies. Part 2 is going to be mostly about horror Christmas movies, though, and there's quite a few good ones out there. So, yeah, so I guess that's about it for now. So, thanks for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video.